It is Thursday, 19 May 2022. This Skidmark is about the chaos that is on the horizon for South Africa. Most of the chaos that is coming to us can be traced back to the absolute horrible looting that the ANC embarked on of the South African fiscus. The sad part is that unfortunately there is a lot of black and white citizens that look at this looting and they just shake their heads and they don't do anything about it. They don't realize what is really the result of this looting. In short, our education system has been destroyed. Our transport systems has been destroyed. Our health services has been destroyed. Eskom has been destroyed. Eskom has been destroyed. Krijgkor has been destroyed. All of these contributed to job opportunities in the country. But there is a small elite that has become super rich and they sit with all the political power. And they are maintaining that grasp on the political power because the majority of the so-called our people are really uneducated and bluntly stupid. They do not realize that when an ANC councillor steals 20 million rands from the council, it is money that could have been used to improve the infrastructure, improve the health services, and improve the education of that community. They just see the 20 million and they see this councillor have a nice house and a big car and things like that. But they do not understand that that 20 million was actually meant to improve their lives. But they are so used to struggling and suffering that they have become punch drunk and they accept this suffering. You look at a country like Rwanda, I saw this morning on Twitter, they're busy building small estates in the rural areas. And this estate is a number of houses, nice houses that can accommodate a family. Plus, the land around these estates, they provide opportunity for cattle to be kept and for poultry to be kept. But if you look through the thread and you look at the posts made there, it is shocking. But if you look at it carefully, it all have one common denominator: low IQ. Now there's a lot of stories about the IQ and things like that, and I have mentioned it in a previous Skidmark. Averages in South Africa is said to be 68%, 68, which is a very low IQ. But averages can also be bullshit, because that can be the average, but it doesn't mean that everybody has got an IQ of 68. I look at this cabinet of Cyril Ramaphosa and I see the people that are in charge of portfolios. And there's no soft way of telling it. They are total idiots. Those people shouldn't be in charge of a spaza shop, but they're in charge of a national department. That woman that is in charge of the small businesses thing, it is a joke. That woman, she has zero experience of a small business. She doesn't know what the concept of a small business means. But she prances around the country, making speeches all over the place, traveling in full luxury, spending millions on accommodation. And in the meantime, if you look at her talking, that head is empty. Now, how can that person be in charge of promoting small businesses? It is absolutely a disgrace. But I say it again, the people suffer because they like to suffer. And if anybody comes with any plan or suggestion of how to improve their lives, you get like what I saw in that Twitter thread about the Rwanda housing estates. Absolute idiots, low IQ people, but they've got a cell phone and they can tweet and they think that now they are the cleverest one in the bundle. But all they are doing is that they are promoting the idea to the people that you don't need intelligence. It is shocking. What is going to happen in South Africa is actually frightening, because this current wave of fuel price increase and food cost increases, and on top of that, massive unemployment, is going to explode. Just look at what happened in Sri Lanka. This ANC government embarked on a vicious loan adventure. Go and look at what our national debt is today. But then, when you look at that, you must look on the other side. Where is that money? And you will find it in the ANC elite. Millions and millions and millions of rands are being stolen blatantly, and they don't even show remorse. They never get prosecuted, they get away with it, and if you go and look at history, you will see that every empire that approaches the end of life, that end of life, in that moments, there is absolute horrific looting. There's a total breakdown of law and order. I personally believe that the Patriotic Alliance, Gayton Mackenzie, an action essay of Herman Mashaba, those two parties are going to wipe the ANC and the DA off the boards, because those two parties are openly and strongly promoting the advantages of the people, not a political elite. And in the end, this political elite, they should go and spend their data costs and read up about the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a turning point for the world. But the bottom line of the French Revolution was the elites were removed from society. And violently so. I don't promote violence. But unfortunately, all across the world, this race that has been developing since the late 60s of political elite have now reached a point where they no longer view themselves as representing the people. They are representing themselves, and they use elections just to affirm their positions, and they are not at all interested about the welfare of the people. They're in it for themselves, and they are trying to mass and accumulate as much as possible wealth and power in as few as possible hands. I foresee a global so-called French Revolution coming, and these elites, these global operations, they are going to find themselves in tight spots. But in South Africa, we have a problem where the majority of the activists are actually low IQ, and they cannot understand the ramifications of their actions. I mean, we look at South Africa, where a lot of ANC dignitaries pitch up to do an official opening of a pit toilet. How sad is that? A country that once was a nuclear power, that had a weapons industry of world class, steel industry, motor industry, textile industry, all of that has been destroyed by the ANC with ministers like Fikile. I mean, we actually deserve what we are getting. But this fuel price risings and the imminent crash of Eskom is going to be a catastrophe. And let's be honest, it's not only going to be in South Africa. I am waiting for the first government to fall in Europe, because it cannot go on like this. The political elite has distanced themselves from the populations, and the populations are now struggling and suffering. The Western media wants to tell you Putin is the danger. That is nonsense. Russia is not the danger. The danger is our own political leaders.